Hello, everybody. It's John Ross with the John Ross Show. Today on May 19th, 2025, it's 54 degrees out. This is about 31 degrees cooler than it was last Friday. Last Friday it was 85. What a drop. That's why I got my flannel shirt on here. And today we're going to talk about Strawman Trump. As you can see on your screen on the right, we have some plastic straws. These I got from Wikimedia Commons. There are some straws. We're going to be talking about straws and Donald Trump. And so anyway, I read and I was reading today in Chicago Sun-Times. Uh, Neil Neil Steinberg, and Neil is a good writer. He writes on a lot of different topics, and today he wrote about straws. And I'm going to show you a little more what he has to say here. Uh, let's put this up. You can get the article that Neil wrote online, and I'm going to put that up here where you can get the online. Uh, here's what Neil. Here's what it's online. It's called Trump promoting plastic straws, a sign of creeping authoritarianism, and that's from Neil Steinberg. And you can get that online, get the paper. It's a real interesting article about Donald Trump and straws. And it's just something else. And Steinberg calls this the straw that broke the nation's back. Basically, what we're talking about here is Donald Trump, an executive order, and it's on February 25th. He wrote this, had this executive order, ending procurement and forced use of paper straws. Trump had some fixation about the use of paper straws. He didn't like paper straws. And I guess he said they explode even. But that's when he put them in hot drinks. He said they explode. Anyway, he wants to get rid of paper straws. And this is a very interesting topic that why was Trump trying to get rid of paper straws? And Steinberg's got several thoughts on it. And it's a very interesting article. He also says, he says Donald Trump has a problem with paper straws, a trivial matter until it isn't. Really, what Trump did, he's shown his authoritarian streak here by making another executive order, and it's just crazy, And I'm going to put down the link for that. This link, here, I'm going to put it down right now. It's at the Chicago Sun-Times. You can see at the bottom of the screen, and we'll let that run for a little while here. But certain states have banned plastic straws, more or less. And Biden had done an order to, now, you can make the argument the other way. We could say Biden overdid things. Biden made an executive order about going toward paper straws. Now, the reason this is, it's a small amount of the plastics out there, but it is a plastic that gets out in the environment. And that's one reason why people were talking about them. And I think I read somewhere there was a picture of a turtle. I think it was 209. I think that was the year. But anyway, it was a turtle with a straw, and it didn't look too good, plastic straw. So that sort of got people going, and it sort of brings up the topic of plastics in our environment too. So that's part of the plastic straw thing too. And Steinberg's got an interesting point here. I'm going to read it here, but I'm going to put a little light on it here. It's the latter part of his article. I'm going to read it. It's a paragraph here. Such measures can be seen as trivial or practiced. On the same day Mussolini's hat order came down. Well, I should read it a little before. Mussolini had a hat order that everybody. Let me see, how did this go? Where did this? On March 30th, 1928, Mussolini ordered all Italians to wear straw hats between April 1st and October 1st, dictating the acceptable styles conceived by the Union of Industrial Fascists. Anyway, so maybe he had a little take on the hats too. I don't know, but here's the last paragraph. Such measures can be seen as trivial or practiced. On some days, Mussolini's hat order came down. They also had a Catholic youth organizations were also abolished. This is in the Steinberg article. Authoritarian leaders don't like competition from cities, including what kind of straw their restaurants can use, from religion pointing to actual morality, from courts reminding us that there are still laws, from the press holding a mirror to the ongoing carnival of idiocy for anybody. So, in other words, these can lead to other things, and they are. And that's what this executive order from Trump on straws. It may be trivial, but it shows Donald Trump and the smallness of Donald Trump and the authoritative nature of Donald Trump. So, in other words, straws are just a straw man for use of authoritarian traits. And Donald Trump is doing that. So on this day, let's think about how we can fight against authoritarian tendencies here. And one way I didn't follow through, like I said last Friday, was to call our congressmen, senators about refugees. And let's get the number back to where it should be. It's around 12 to 15,000. We're right now, we're vetted. We're just waiting to come in, and we're being held up. So we got to get that back up. I'm going to put back up my Congress people. And during some years, we were bringing in, under Biden, about 125,000 refugees. Right now, it's only white South Africaners are being brought in. Afghans are going to be kicked out. From time of the Taliban, they're going to be kicked out because Afghanistan's all right now, according to the State Department. Yeah, right. So that's what's happening there, and we just got to keep fighting on this front. These are the kind of things that are out there. We've got to help out groups like World Relief, Catholic Charities, and others who are working with refugees. The Episcopal Church's refugee group backed out of helping refugees that they've done for many years after the South African, probably I would call it a trick to call them refugees and genocide. It's not true at all, but anyway, they were brought in, and probably a few more are going to be coming in from South Africa. And so that's out there. And so we got to keep on our front on these things. In Chicagoland, there was a big demonstration over the weekend. I think it was a 30-mile chain from Aurora to Chicago. I think it was to Chicago from Aurora. I know that, and human chain with signs, etc. So that was a show of force. I think they said 18,000 or something people. So that was a big thing. So we got to keep up the fight, and we can't let these somewhat trivial things move on to a bigger front yet. And these executive orders keep coming down from Trump, and they go into courts and everything, a lot of them, especially on our refugees and immigrants that Trump seems to like to pick on. And so we'll be back on Wednesday, Lord willing, with another show. And we got to keep up the fight. And remember these numbers for calling your congressman. And we just got to do that. We got to be part of the solution. And we got to remember that the church and individuals, we got to show the light to this world, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So we'll see you then on Wednesday, Lord willing, at 5 o'clock. And so then for right now, I'm just going to say bye-bye, everybody. God bless. And remember, you can drink from a plastic or a paper straw, but let's not get into the straw man and an authoritarianism here. That's what we don't want. So anyway, God bless everybody, and keep up the good work, keep the faith, and we'll talk again. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.